Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Marvel Contest of Champions. And this is our second episode of Waning Moon walkthrough. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish off Ace Team in one shot here in one video. We've already seen what goes on inside of this as far as the story goes. Now, I do remember that there was a mystic that we encountered, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep the team the way it is. No bonuses, but it's the top team that I have available right now. We're gonna go ahead and skip this stuff. We've already seen it. We'll get right into it. Take my Iron Fist up against Drax. Iron Fist is a really good champion. Duplicated or not duplicated, Iron Fist is a really good champion in a 4-star. I mean, he's awesome when he's duplicated, but he doesn't even have to be. With his armor break, it just does so much damage, it's not even funny. As you can see, he took down Drax fairly easy. No issues. Which these characters are all 3 stars, so it's not like it's that big of a challenge anyway. Going up against them with what we have, at least. And there's our Mystic Iron Fist. It will take our Yellow Jacket up against. Now, Yellow Jacket doesn't even have to be duplicated either. Yellow Jacket in and of himself is a really good champion, not even being duplicated because of his L1 attack and how much damage it does. So you don't even get to see it there, but he puts those stacks of Sting on, and what it does is if he's duplicated and the Sting wears off, the opponent becomes stunned for a short period of time. But if your opponent hits one of their special attacks while they have Sting on them, they take a tremendous amount of damage. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I like Yellow Jacket so much. Black Widow's a really good champion too. There's not a lot of champions in this game that I really don't like. You just have to... You have to know their abilities, learn how to use them properly, and they're good champions. I don't think there's a bad champion in the game, to be honest. Or at least not one that I don't like. I love Black Widow up against an Electro because of her supply ability. If you have it unlocked, she hits with finesse, so that I guess they went that route because of her being female, but she hits him easily, but easily but hard, I guess. But anytime I take her up against an Electro, it's like I hardly ever see the electrostatic damage done by Electro because of that. And obviously you've got to have her duplicated for it to pop out, but that's one of the biggest reasons why I like her. I don't know if we're going to get to see any of these other ones in action. Take this path, and then we'll get the outside path on the way back through. Now, I haven't seen any of the other missions on here, so I don't know what lies ahead of us and how many of these videos this is going to take. But now that I can actually do it and not have lag issues, then shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get a another dueling the YouTubers video up. Not certain who I'm going to go up against yet. Try and knock out some of the bigger ones first. I'm not gonna like not get some of you other guys in here either. Like Afro Samurai. I'm gonna get you, dude. He's gave me shout outs before. He's there trying to build up his channel like I am. That's probably gonna be the next one. I'm gonna go up against Afro Samurai, and you can find him on his YouTube channel at Andy Valley, ANDY space VALLE. I haven't seen a video from him in a few days, but guy was doing some tremendous videos in kind of the same fashion that I would normally do. I've noticed that since we started doing these big crystal opening videos, that some of the other YouTubers, not Super Gaming Family, but a couple of the other ones have started opening up more crystals than they normally would. Like this, they were opening up, I think, like 1, 2, 3 maybe crystals, and then we started doing our videos, and guys started opening up like 30 and 40 crystals. It's whatever. I don't know what the deal is though. Maybe there's just an influx of money for them. I'm definitely not trying to take away any viewers from anyone else. I don't know. I spoke with London Town a little bit after he put up his Stop Bullying campaign video, and I wholeheartedly agree with that fact that, you know, we should be supporting each other, and I really think it's awful that anyone would try and downgrade anyone else for making YouTube videos. We're not taking viewers away from anyone else that's doing these games. We're not per se copying anyone else with our videos either. We all have our own little unique traits that we bring to the table. And I've probably talked about this before, so it's becoming ad nauseum, but it's whatever. Before I couldn't like talk to you guys and there not be some kind of problem with the game glitching and my audio glitching, but I think that the more people that you guys are watching doing this kind of stuff, the more enjoyment you're going to get out of it. Because you're not seeing the same stuff. You're not seeing the same people. You're not seeing the same characteristics and traits. You're getting a little bit of different from everything. So to think that other people are stealing your viewers or whatever it is that they think, I don't personally subscribe to that kind of stuff. It's that when you get to that point where you're telling people that they can't do certain things as far as their channel is concerned, there's a problem with that. I see it all the time in real life too, and I don't know what it's like in some of your all's areas, but I have kids. I have three kids, 2 of which are in school, 1's not, but there's supposed to be like this no tolerance for bullying in the schools, and it just seems like it just slips through the cracks. That kind of stuff. It was just like starting out with the zero tolerance for bullying kind of stuff whenever I was in school. Because I mean, like, they just stopped spanking kids whenever I got into like first grade. Teachers weren't allowed to spank kids. I mean, I missed out on that. Apparently, that was a good thing. But yeah, they instituted like that whole zero tolerance for bullying campaign, and it still happened, and it still does happen, and that's the kind of what I was trying to get off on too. Was that my oldest? He's in first grade now, but when he was in kindergarten, he had a lot of issues with one certain kid, like picking on him a lot, and it's like, it's to a certain extent, it's kids going to be kids when they're that little, but just to keep doing and doing and doing, that's the point when it starts to become a bullying situation. And he's honestly, my oldest son is honestly like the biggest hearted kid you'll ever meet. He doesn't like to fight. He doesn't like to cause problems, and he just wants to get along with everyone. And that doesn't always work in his situation, as it's people take advantage of it, and other people see it as a weakness when it's really not a weakness. It's a good genuine quality in a kid that you don't really see a lot these days, or at least I don't. There's a lot of very disrespectful kids that just, in my opinion, just weren't raised correctly. I just don't think they were raised the way that they should have been. My kids are a little bit afraid of me because they know if they get out of line, I'll put them in place. And I've always felt that with a little bit of fear comes respect, but it's not it's not something a lot of other parents instill in their children. So it's hard. There's a certain point of discipline that it's not to an extreme, and because obviously it can go both ways too, but you can discipline way too much, and then that can cause problems with the kid. But there has to be some kind of discipline, because you have to respect your parents, plain and simple. And there's a lot of kids that watch this. If your parents are good to you, you need to respect your parents. You may not agree with everything that they say all the time. I know I didn't growing up, and I probably should have been a lot better to my parents. Thankfully, they're both still alive, but that's not the point. I should have been a better kid growing up than I was, but hindsight's 2020, and you don't look at that kind of stuff until you get older. Like, I try to talk to my family members, kids in my family, and tell them to respect their parents and do what they're told, and a lot of times they don't listen to me. And one of the biggest things I can tell you guys is stay in school, further your education, go to college, do the best that you can with your life, try to make the best of it. I mean, playing video games and stuff, it's all in good fun, but don't let it rule your life either. That's the big thing. Just don't let it rule your life. Most of us spend a good amount of time playing video games, but then we work too. If it ever came to the point where I was picking a video game over my kids or picking a video game over work, I'd have to put it down. There's no other way around it. I'd have to put it down. But I guess that's what's going to be once we get past that first initial phase of these missions, and actually get to see what the characters say and things of that nature. We'll just sit and talk. We'll play the game a little bit. We'll talk for a little bit. Really didn't take a lot of time there. We're just past the 15-minute, 30-second mark, but that's 100% on the first leg of Chapter 1 Ace Team. Next video we will be conquering Cosmic Awareness, and it looks like we'll get our first look at X-Force Deadpool in these missions, and so on and so forth. We'll make our way up to the very end and take a little bit of time with it, guys. So that's going to be it for this episode. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later, guys.